सो वेलकम फॉर दिस सेशन। और आज का जो सेशन है हम EMAs के ऊपर लेने वाले। EMA मींस एक्सपोनेंशियल मूविंग एवरेज। ओके, सो मूविंग एवरेज क्या होता है पहले देखते हैं, एंड देन वील सी how exponential moving average can be used in the markets to understand certain concepts about entry exits and also certain supports and resistances. ठीक है, so for this I would like to go on an Excel sheet and I'll open an Excel sheet, blank Excel sheet, and try to make you understand what is the EMA concept. Okay, so first of all we'll understand what is the moving average concept. So in the moving average concept, what we find is, if I keep this if I start as, let us say, day 1. Okay, just let me open this. Okay, so in one column I'm taking as day 1 2 3, and in another column I'm taking as the price. Okay, so simple average, simple moving average का पहले concept देखते हैं. So I'm just taking day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 and day 5. Okay, मान लो first day पे price is 10 rupees, second day पे the price is, let's say, 15 rupees, third day the price becomes 20 rupees. Okay, तो यहाँ पर मैं एक average ले रहा हूँ, moving average, and I want to, right now I'll take it for 3 periods. Okay, 3 दिन का moving average मैं यहाँ पर ले रहा हूँ, so I'll just write it as 3 moving average. So 3 moving average का मतलब होगा, पहले 2 के लिए तो ऑब्वियसली होगा ही नहीं, बिकॉज फॉर 3 मूविंग एवरेज आई विल रिक्वायर मिनिमम 3 ऑब्जर्वेशंस. तो on the third day I'll get 10 plus 15 plus 20 divided by 3, I'll get 15 as my average. Okay, next day if the price becomes, let's say, 25, then the moving average I'm going to take not for day 1, 2 and 3, I'm going to take for second day, third day and fourth day. Okay, तो जैसे जब 15 का जो मूविंग एवरेज आया था, वी आर टेकन the first 3 days, and because this is a period is moving, that's the reason why it's called as a moving average. So now I'm going to take the average of these 3, 15, 20 and 25. So obviously 15, 20 और 25 का average अगर पकड़ते हैं तो the average becomes 20. So take 15 plus 20 plus 25 divided by 3, तो आपको 20 आ जाएगा. Okay, and one more I will take is probably on the 5th day, if the price goes to, let us say, 20 rupees. Okay, I'm taking price goes to 20 rupees, or let us say goes to 15 rupees. ठीक है, so on the fifth day the moving average will be the total of these 3 divided by 3. So 20 plus 25 plus 15, the average is going to become 20. Okay, so what I find is that I am comparing the price with the moving average. तो obviously पहले 2 दिन का तो मुझे moving average रहेगा ही नहीं, and third day onwards I can get the moving average. जैसे third दिन के लिए I'll be taking day 1, 2, 3, then for fourth day I'll be taking as day 2, 3 and fourth day, fifth day I'll be taking as third, fourth and fifth day. Okay, and so on and so forth. Now the advantage of taking a moving average is that the latest data is considered. जैसे दिन तो आगे निकलते जाएंगे, right? But I'm not concerned with what has happened probably 50 days back or 100 days back or 300 days back. तो मुझे वो पीरियड जो है ना, वो पीरियड फिक्स चाहिए. So for that reason what I'm doing is I'm taking a moving average, and in this case I've given you example of 3. Right now this is how the moving average is basically calculated. Okay, so if you see the price over here, on the third day the price was 20 and the moving average was 15. So moving average 15 है और price अगर 20 है, it only says that the price is doing better than the average. Okay, जैसे अपना average अगर performance है, आपका खुद का performance है, मान लो for 11th, 12th and 13th of your college days. Okay, याद करो 11वीं, 12वीं और 13वीं आपने कितना परसेंट मिला था 3 साल का एवरेज मिला के, मान लो 60% मिला. Okay, just as an example, you might have got better also, but let's say I'm assuming 11th, 12th and 13th you got 60%. And then when you came to 14th standard, okay, or it's also called as SY in the in Indian, the SY BCom or whatever, and at the 4th year you got probably, let us say, 70%. That means what? You are doing better than your own average. आपका खुद का average 3 दिन का 3 साल का जो था वो पहले 60 था, यानी 11th, 12th and 13th you had 60%, and now when you came to the 14th year you got 70%. That means you are doing better than your own average performance. Okay, so the average performance se agar aap acha karo, that means you are doing better, right? So the same concept you're going to use it in the market. So we are seeing that whether the price is doing better than the average or worse than the average. So the price is doing better than the average, then it's a bullish sign. If it is doing worse than the average, then it's a bearish sign. And for this, I'm going to take the concept of not moving average, but exponential moving average. So exponential moving average mein hota kya hai? That the weightage is given, more weightage is given to the latest data. Okay, so jo latest data hota hai in the period which I have considered, in that the latest data is given more weightage, and in simple moving average it is just plain average. There is no weightage given, different weightage given to different observations. So exponential moving average is little better than the simple moving average. Okay, so for this, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on the chart and I'll show you how to put the moving average. Okay, so moving average kya hai? Moving average is a indicator. So I'm just going to put here as EMA. So once I come and put an EMA on this, so exponential moving average by default 9 aega. Okay, but 9 would be sometimes a little late. I don't want a little late indication. I want little early indication. So uske liye main 9 ke badle here I'm changing it to 5 and I say okay, right? You can make the change on the colors also. Style mein agar aapko color change karna hai, thickness change karna hai, to aap kar sakte ho. And this is how you'll get the moving average, right? So this thin line, blue line which you see is the moving average. Now let us see if a stock, let us say something like Tata Consumer Products. Okay, so if I see Tata Consumer Product and if I see this price, it is come above 5 EMA. Okay, 5 दिन का जो average था, यानी जैसे 1 2 3 4 5, ये 5 लास्ट 5 दिन का जो average है, उससे आप क्या देख रहे हो? प्राइस अभी अच्छी कर रही है. Okay, so that is just one concept. But then what about the overall this thing? Okay, it has given a huge correction. तो correction कहाँ तक आ गया है? So that is one part which will be depending upon the criteria for deciding the which stock you're going to buy. Okay, so whenever you are buying any or when you considering any stock for let's say even positional trades or long term trades, दो चीजें आपको हमेशा देखनी पड़ती. One is what is the trend of that stock. Okay, so either the trend is already in an uptrend and you want to buy that stock whenever there is a correction. Okay, that is number one. Second could be that the stock has been beaten down quite a lot और अभी एक turnaround हो रहा है. तो turnaround जब भी होता है, that could be another way, in another area in which you can actually go and invest. Okay, and you would be getting probably one of the lowest prices for that stock, right? So all this is subject to your target and your stop loss system, what we are giving in our trainings, right? तो कभी भी आप कोई भी trade लेते हो, my sincere advice to all of you is don't take any trade where you find that the reward to risk ratio is less than 3:1. इसका मतलब है आपका reward कम से कम 3 times होना चाहिए and your risk has to be only 1 time. Okay, so 3x rewards and 1x would be your risk. Right, so 3:1 अगर reward risk ratio अगर आपको नहीं दिखता है, then don't go for those trades. So one part is the identifying the stock, and second is at what is the entry point. So to find out what is the entry point, this criteria of EMA can be used, which is used quite frequently. Okay, and I call this as a litmus test. Okay, I'm sure litmus test आपने देखा रहेगा. What is a litmus test? When you were in school, it's like a small strip and it can identify the acidic nature or alkaline nature of a solution by dipping that strip into that solution, right? So and it's a very simple test. So any time anyone wants to enter into trade, minimum 5 EMA के price ऊपर होना चाहिए. That is on the time frame which you are trading. Normally अगर daily time frame है तो daily time frame पे आपका जो EMA है has to be more than 5 EMA. Okay, the price has to be more than 5 EMA. Okay, so this is one stock which I had seen, that this is Tata Consumer Products. Now 5 EMA is one basic criteria. Okay, now in addition to 5 EMA, there could be sometimes what happens if you see the price is going above 5 EMA, then again it comes below 5 EMA, again it goes above 5, again below, again above 5 EMA. तो क्या entry exit करते रहना है? No. Okay, for this a person who is a little conservative, he can have something better. What you can do is you can have a combination of 3 moving averages. Okay, so 3 moving averages जो combination है, which I give is as 5, 13 and 26. Okay, so the second moving average हम पकड़ेंगे is going to be for 13. Okay, so you can slightly change the color of this. Probably we can keep this as green and make it a little thicker. This is okay. And the last one is the 26. Okay, so 26 ke liye we will have a different color, probably red color, and also slightly thicker. So here we are. Okay, so what I find is now that the price yahan par, okay, is since a long time, okay, over yahan se yahan jo price gayi upar, it was in an uptrend. Okay, and when right now it is in a downtrend because there's like a huge correction in this stock, which is startup consumers. Now if I'm looking for an entry, only 5 EM is not sufficient. Can you see the price goes above 5 EMA, again comes below 5 EMA, again up and again down. So what I would ideally want to wait for is for a better indication where 5 EMA goes above 13 and also 26. तो अगर 5 13 के भी ऊपर गया और 5 26 के भी ऊपर अगर जाता है, that would tell me that the price, that the it is even a better condition because things have improved much better. Okay, for example, if you see here, 5 has gone above 26, but 13 has not gone above 26. Okay, so both 5 and 13 have to go above 26. Then that would be the time you can say that yes, this is a good time for a most conservative trader. He would think, okay, यहाँ पर अगर 5 13 के ऊपर है, 26 के ऊपर है, and 13 is also about 26. That would mean that the things have now almost gone much better than what they were earlier. जैसे यहाँ पर अगर आप देखो, all the way from the time the price has, was in a downtrend, you've seen that the price, the 5 and 13 were below 26 EMAs. Okay, so this is one criteria which you can keep for entry. There are other criteria also based on trend line and only the basis of your candlestick pattern and all. Obviously, those are also important. Only on the basis of EMAs, I don't advise that you should be taking your trade only on the basis of EMA. But अगर आपका बाकी study है और EMA का भी आपको एक study मिलता है, then those would be even much better trades, right? Because it is like I say it's like a kundali, right? So in the kundali, like there are 36 points, then all 36 points obviously are not going to match, but as many as points can be matched, it is good for that couple. Okay, so same thing here. Whenever you are taking any trade, as many points as much which you find that yes, this also I'm getting, this also I'm getting, EMA crossover aa raha hai, okay, another got a trend line breakout, plus there's volume. So all those things, if you find that they are more and more things which are in your favor, then that could be a great trade. Okay, so now this was the concept of 5, 13 and 26. Now sometimes what happens that like what has happened in the current scenario, okay, that many stocks have corrected to a great level and बहुत नीचे आ गए हैं, okay, and you would find that one concept which is particularly called as 200-day moving average. Okay, so it's called 200 DMA, and in common terms it is taken as DMA, but I would still like to take it as 200-day exponential moving average. तो अभी मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, I'm just changing this setting to 200. Okay, तो इसका मतलब है that this line which I'm getting here is for 200 days, यानी 200 दिन का average. सोचो यानी आज अगर if this was the last observation over here or the last day, इसके पहले 200 दिन का जो डेटा है उसका एवरेज, उसका टोटल डिवाइड बाय 200 करेंगे, then you are getting this line. Okay, so many stocks, okay, many good stocks have come below the 200-day moving average. Okay, let us see which are these stocks. I'll be showing you also which are these stocks. Okay, now 200 moving day average, if you find that it is considered as a very good support, यानी एक अच्छा last support करके पकड़ा जाता है. Okay, if you have seen here, okay, whenever the price went below 200 EMA and then after that it recovered about 200 EMA, when was the last time over? This was in April 2020. Okay, उसके पहले 200-day moving average कभी के नीचे कभी थी, it was there. Once it crossed about this, it was in 2019. So almost like you get a great time frame to trade basis on the basis of the 200-day moving average. So right now, all these stocks which are below 200 DMA, especially those are which are in the Nifty, I think you should be keeping it on your on the radar. And once they cross about 200 DMA, we have seen that once they cross about 200, they get support of 200 DMA. Then that is the time they have given a great move. Okay, even if you see this one, this particular stock also, like Tata Consumer, from 2017, once it crossed about 200 EMA, it has taken support, takes support. Okay, and then it up till the time it is from here. Once you get a sell signal, you can always sell at a higher price. But for entry criteria or support criteria, 200-day EMA is taken as a very good indicator. Okay, so let us see which are the other stocks which are there on a 200, which are below 200-day EMA. Okay, if you see something like even HDFC Life. So if I see HDFC Life, that is also below 200-day moving average. Okay, so 200-day moving average के अगर हम देखते हैं HDFC Life, then let us go to the latest data. So this was the stock which was taking support of 200-day moving average, taken support of 200 DMH, और यहाँ पर resist, it broke down this support, and right now the price is way below 200 DMA, बहुत नीचे है. Okay, so if it is way below the 200-day moving average also, or like over here, okay, it means that the stocks are at a very good valuations at that point of time. Obviously, no one is asking you to catch a falling knife. Whenever you are investing in any these type of stocks which have corrected, those are opportunities. Why? Because if you see here, the high point was around 775 and the lowest point was around 550. So almost you can say 1/3 of the value you are getting it at a discount. So from 770 to approximately 550 would be approximately probably 30% or so, right? So 30% less from what you are getting at the highest price. But as I said, you don't have to catch a falling knife. You have to find that the trend should change. Okay, and only then based on your other technical studies, you can do this. But this would be one area which I think अगर आप देखते हो कि कौन से stocks 200-day moving average के नीचे है, then those would be the ones which you can keep on radar, but only after they give some indication and confirmation, and you find that yes, they are now moving up, and if they move about 200-day moving average also. For example, अगर ये HDFC Life है, ये यहाँ पर इसने अगर मान लो indication भी दिया, confirmation भी दिया, that would be the first thing. And later on, when it goes also above the 200-day moving average, that would be also like a even much better thing, because indication confirmation already come. And now if the price, if the stock starts moving above 200-day EMA, then it would be like a even better confirmation, or you can say that you can keep it for even a longer time duration. Okay, so I'll see one or two more stocks before we continue. So Wipro, let us say, let me take Wipro. So I'm going to take the stock of Wipro. So what I have showed you earlier was a list of all the stocks which are below the 200-day moving average. So अगर Wipro का stock देखते हैं, तो Wipro also is obviously it's in the IT sector, or IT being in the IT sector is one of the leaders. And if I find here, when was the last time Wipro had come below 200-day moving average? Okay, and it was in June 2020. और जब भी when it crossed above the 200-day moving average, okay, if you see here, when it crossed about 200-day moving average, it was around 225. So 225 रुपए से all the way it had gone to a high of around 750. So almost like 3 times the price has gone up, and right now if you see, it is come below the 200-day moving average. तो ये ऐसा स्टॉक है जो काफी टाइम के बाद 200-day moving average के नीचे आ गया. तो ऐसे अगर लगता है आपको कि हाँ ये स्टॉक 200-day moving के नीचे एवरेज के नीचे आ रहा है, then you can keep those stocks in your radar, and whenever there is some indication and proper confirmation, you can take some trade. Again, let me clarify, I'm not an advisor, and this purpose of this video is not to give you any advisory on what stock to buy or what stock to sell. This is purely based on the technical studies. And if the technical studies are telling you to buy based on your stop loss and your target and your indication and confirmation, one can take the trades on their own risk. Okay, so back to the concept of moving averages. So we have taken the first moving average, which was only a simple 5 moving average. Then we have taken a combination of 5, 13 and 26, because if we take only 5 EMA, sometimes the price is above 5 EMA, kabhi kabhi niche hoti hai, but then you can't be expected to buy and sell so frequently, right? So you need something where that at least the 5 would have gone about 13 and 26, and 13 would also have gone about 26. Then that would mean that yes, there is a subsequent improvement in the price, and now from here onwards you can expect that the price should be going in that positive direction. Okay, so the trades which I have taken right now is based on for the long trade. Agar anybody wants to do a short trade, so for that also the similar concept will work, but on a opposite basis. Okay, for example, like how I have told you that you can take a trade for 5 price going above 5 EMA or price 5 EMA going over 13 and 26 for a long trade. Exactly opposite can be a short trade also, जहाँ पर अगर प्राइस 5 EMA के नीचे चल रही है काफी टाइम तक और 5 EMA 13 और 26 के भी नीचे आ गया और 13 EMA वो 26 के नीचे आता है, then that would mean that there is a downtrend. That would be a negative crossover of all those 3 EMAs. Okay, the earlier one what we saw was a positive crossover, which is useful for long trades. So anyone interested in a short trade, you have to look for the prices closing below 5 EMA. That would be the first litmus test, and 5 closing below 13 and 26, and also 13 below 26 would be a confirmation for a good short trade, right? And then we saw the 200-day moving average. So 200-day moving average can also be used as a support. Okay, so यहाँ पर price support के पास आती है, and then you find that yes, it is going above the 200-day moving average, then those also can be good trades to take based on the exponential moving averages. Okay, so I hope you have understood this concept of exponential moving averages, and the next session, okay, or the next week we'll be taking some another concept. And if you got any other suggestion कि कौन सा आपको revision लेना, you are most welcome to put it in the chat, or you can put me also in my direct message DM.